Okay, here's section 7.4 and problem number one. Number one here. So in this case, we cannot add these because they do not have the same denominator. So you know, for fractions to be added, you got to get a common denominator. Let me rewrite it here a little bigger. So to make these fractions have a common denominator, basically we have to multiply by the other one. So I got to multiply top and bottom of this one by 7, top and bottom of this one by 3, and then in both cases, both denominators will become 21x, won't they? The top here, 7 times 15, you can use a calculator. If you need to, it's 105, and 3 times 14 is 30 into 42. Now we can add them up. That's a 147 over 21x. It's okay to add them because their denominators match. Now, is that reducible? We always check. If you check with your calculator, both these are divisible by 3. That would be, is it 49? Yeah, over 7x. Oh, and then that goes in again. 7 goes into 49. I should have just divided 21 into 147 to begin with. Anyway, it's 7x. Is that right? No, be careful. The x is on the bottom, and the 7's on the top. Because the 49 was bigger, that was on the top. So there's our answer, 7 over x. All right, so here in number 2, we got to get common denominator. Let me bring it up here. Common denominator is required. So how do we do it? You multiply. So let me write it this way. I'll see you multiply top and bottom by what is missing. So I'm going to multiply top and bottom. This guy compared to that guy, what does he need? What is he missing? He needs 5 and another x, right, to make him 5x squared like the other guy. The other guy, he doesn't need, I don't have to do anything top and bottom of him because he's already got everything. He's already got 5x squared. He's not missing anything that the other one has. So what would that be? So now that we've done that, these multiply, these two multiply 4 times 5x, 20x over 5x squared plus 3 over 5x squared. Now you can make him common denominator 5x squared, 20x plus 3. That's it. You can't reduce that or anything. You cannot cancel these x's. That's a no-no. Why? Because of the plus sign on the top, right? Pluses and minuses make this a package deal. That's what Costco, I would say. It's like Costco shopping when you have 2 milks glued together. You can't buy just one. You can't say I want to buy just the X. Like that, you have to buy the whole package or buy nothing. And we can't cancel the whole package. So we can't cancel anything. It's all or nothing. So we're done. That's all we can do then. We're done right there. And we can't go 5 into 20 either, because again, it's the whole package. You can't just go 5 into 20. That top, the bottom is fine with it. The 5x squared in the bottom is fine. But the top is glued together with that plus sign, which means it's all or nothing. So we do nothing. We stop right there. Okay, so number 3 here. Let me rewrite it. 10. Let me give a little more room here. 10 over x plus 9 minus 9x over x squared minus 81. Well, the first thing is I would factor this denominator. This one needs to be factored, doesn't he? He's a double-double. X plus 9, x minus 9. Okay. Now, you know what we do for the LCD. I'll write it over here again. For the LCD, multiply top and bottom by what is missing. So what's missing? Compare him to the other guy. What is he missing that the other denominator has? He's missing x minus 9. I'm doing it top and bottom, so I'm not changing that fraction. I'm doing the same thing top and bottom. And now notice, Oh, and then how about this guy? What is this guy missing that the other one has? Nothing. He's already got everything, doesn't he? So you don't need to do anything here. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of all this. So notice that these two denominators now are the same. So what do we have? Multiply this, boom, boom. So this becomes 10x minus 90 over x minus 9, x plus 9 minus 9x over x plus 9, x minus 9. Okay, put them together into one fraction. What's going to happen? 10x minus 90 and then minus 9x. Okay, can I simplify that? That's going to be 10x minus 9x, that's x, 1x, right? Minus 90 over x minus 9, x plus 9. That's as far as we go. We can't simplify that any further. Okay, so these denominators, basically, do you see the issue? This one needs to be turned around. We want the letters in the front. So when the letter at the back switch the order. So keep this one the same. So this is 6 over b minus 8 plus this one. Switch the order. Now, when you switch the order, remember, take sign in front with them. So this has a minus in front of that b. That goes with it wherever it may go. And what's in front of the 8 there? Nothing but a plus sign. A blank, so it means plus. Does that make sense how I reordered that? So when you reorder things, you have to remember that whatever sign is in the front, that's their baby. You take your baby with you wherever you go. So that minus is going to remain in front of b, wherever b may go. And what's in front of the 8? Nothing, which means plus. That stays in front of 8, wherever it may go. Okay. And now we have another issue, don't we? So that's step 1. Step 2, when negative in the front, factor out -1, all signs change inside, don't they? So this piece right here, I'll take out the -1, it becomes b minus 8, right? If I multiply -1 times b, go back to negative b, and negative times negative, go back to positive 8. So it's right, -1 times b minus 8. So what becomes of this? 6 over b minus 8 plus 9 over -1 b minus 8. All right, now we want those two denominators to be identical. So I'm going to take that -1 and just move it up top. Remember, a minus sign on a fraction can be in the top or the bottom. It's all the same thing. So this becomes 6 over b minus 8 plus -9 over b minus 8. Why did I do that? So that these two denominators would now be completely and totally the same. We have to make the two denominators common, same, identical. So I had to move that -1 up top. Now, I can put them together into one final answer because they do have the same denominator, 6 and -9, -3. There we go. Okay, so number 5 here. So this guy's got to be turned around. So I won't write. I wrote out the steps last time, so you know the deal if you watched the last one. Turn this around. When you move them around, they've got to take their signs with them, right? So that minus in front of x squared goes with them. What's in front of the 1? Nothing, which means plus. Like that. That's the first step. Next step is we never leave a negative in the front. Whenever there's, I wrote this out also in the last one, when negative in the front, comma factor out -1, and all signs switch inside. So that negative in the front, I got to factor out negative 1, x squared minus 1. Do you see that that's the same thing? Because that minus 1 could multiply, be back to minus x squared, minus times minus, be back to plus 1. That's the same thing, isn't it? And then, so now we have 4 over x squared minus 1 minus, just bringing that minus down, 2 over minus 1 times x squared minus 1. Now I don't want to leave this minus 1 down here. I move it up top because I want the two denominators identical. Move that up top, and it becomes minus 2 up there. Now, the two denominators are identical, so I can combine them. We get 4 minus minus 2, right? Minus minus 2 over x squared minus 1. And that is 6, right? Because these two minuses, as you know, add. 6 over x squared minus 1. There we go. Okay, so number 6, I'm trying to add 6 over x plus 3 and 4. What do you do when you have a whole number interacting with a fraction? We've had this before. Remember what you do? You take that whole number and you put it over 1 to make it look like a fraction. It's still a 4. I mean, 1 divides into 4 times. That's still just a fancy 4. But now it looks like a fraction. That's helpful to us. Okay, so what do we have to do to add these two fractions? We have to get common denominator. So that means multiply top and bottom of that one by x plus 3. So the two denominators now match. So what do we have now? We have, I'm going to bring this one down unchanged. The other one, the 4 is going to distribute 4x plus 12. On the bottom, the 1 will distribute, it's just x plus 3. Now the two denominators are identical, so you can combine them into one fraction. And 6 plus 4x plus 12. And then you can combine like terms. That's going to be 4x plus 18, right? 6 and 12 makes 18 over x plus 3. Now you could factor that top, but it doesn't matter because nothing will happen. Nothing good will happen. You could take out the 2. That would leave 2x plus 9, but so what? That doesn't cancel with anything in the denominator. So when nothing cancels, we just leave it like that. That's our answer. We can't cancel any of that stuff. You can't go 3 into 18 because those are glued packages, right? The pluses right here and here make them Costco glued packages. You buy all of it, same thing on the top, or none of it. You can't just do just the 3 or just the 18. It's all or nothing, and we can't do it all, so we do nothing. We stop right there, and we don't need to do that factorization because that doesn't cancel anything either. So we leave it just as it is. So here in number 7, I'll rewrite it here, minus x plus 4 over x minus x minus 5 over 8x. Okay, we have to get common denominators again. To add or subtract, to add or subtract fractions, you have to make the denominators identical. So I multiply top and bottom of this one by 8 to make it 8x like the other one. That 8 distributes, and I get minus 8x plus 32 over 8x. Get rid of that 32 there. Minus x minus 5 over 8x. Okay, now we can combine them into one fraction. Now you got to be careful. What does that minus do? It distributes to both of those two in the upper right. Super easy mistake to make. So minus x plus 32 from this stuff, and then boom, boom, minus x plus 5, right? Plus 5 back there. Easy mistake to make. Then combine like terms. What do we have? Minus 8x and minus 1 more x is minus 9x. 32 and 5, 37. There we go. Nothing can cancel there. Okay, so we're trying to subtract 2x to the 4th over 5 minus 9x squared over 10. To add or subtract fractions, you got to have common denominators. So multiply top and bottom of that one by 2 to make their denominators both become 10. And then we have 4x to the 4th over 10 minus 9x squared over 10. Now, combine those together. 4x to the 4th minus 9x squared over 10. One big fraction. Now, can we simplify that at all? Well, yeah, we can. On the top, we can take out an x squared. That's the GCF. And that will leave, what? 4x squared minus 9 over 10. Oh, yeah, nothing's going to cancel. You could even factor this further. This is 2x plus 3, 2x minus 3. But why bother? Nothing's going to cancel. We only really care about factoring if it makes anything cancel, cross out, top and bottom. Nothing crosses out here. So you can just leave it here, or this one's a fine version. They're both right. They're both good. Nothing's simpler. Either one's good, and you can't simplify it any further. Okay, number 9 here. So we have 8 over 3y plus 4 over y minus 4. All right, same rule. To add fractions, we have to make their denominators match. So let me give you the add fractions game plan. Step 1, factor denoms. If there's anything that needs to be factored, nothing needs to be factored down here on this one. Step 2, multiply top and bottom by what is missing. So top and bottom by what is missing. So that means I'm going to come over here and say, okay, compared to the other denominator, it's like comparing with your neighbors or something. What do your neighbors have? Comparing to the other denominator, what does it have? It has a y minus 4. You got to do it top and bottom. And then we go over to this guy and we compare back. What is it missing? It needs 3y top and bottom. Okay. So now see how the two denominators are the same now? They both have a 3y and a y minus 4. We made them the same. So now distribute and you get 8y minus 32 over y minus 4 times 3y, and multiply here. 12y over y minus 4 times 3y. Now you can make them one fraction because their denominators match. Y minus 4 times 3y. So we get 8y minus 32 plus 12y. I'm getting a little scribbly there. 8y minus 32 plus 12y. 8y and 12y. That's 20y. In fact, why don't I just make that 20y right away? You just combine those right there. I'm running out of room anyway. So 8y, 12y, 20y minus 32. Now, so let me finish my steps here. Multiply and combine in the tops. Multiply and combine terms in the tops. And step 4, try to factor the top and reduce. So can I factor that top? What can you take out? Well, yeah, you could take out a 4. That would leave 5y minus 8 over y minus 4 times 3y. Does anything cancel, though? No. So really, it would have been okay just to leave it here or here. Both are right. Either one's good. Doesn't matter. This one is not any more simple because nothing canceled. That's all we really care about is if anything cancels. So either one's good. Okay, number 10 here. So 2x over x minus 13. Oops, my 3's are getting sloppy. Minus x over x minus 2. We want to remember the add, subtract fractions game plan. Number one, number one is factor denoms, but these denominators do not need to be factored, so we can often skip that step. Step two, multiply top and bottom by whatever is missing. So let's do that. Top and bottom. Here, he's missing the x minus 2, the other one. This guy's missing the x minus 13. Now the two denominators have the same stuff. So that's step 2. Step 3, multiply tops and combine. So I'm going to multiply, boom, boom. 2x squared minus 4x over x minus 2 times x minus 13 minus, boom, boom, x squared minus 13x over x minus 2 x minus 13. Now combine into one fraction. Combine and multiply the tops and combine. So careful now, here's the minus sign is deadly. Remember, it has to go to both those. So it's going to become 2x squared minus 4x minus x squared plus, it hits that minus, this minus, hits the minus 13x to make it plus. So then we combine like terms up there. 2x squared minus 1x squared is x squared. Minus 4x plus 13 is, what is that, 9x? Right. Over x minus 2 x minus 13. There we go. You could take out an x on the top there. Right. Step 4 is try to factor the top, but if you took out an x on that top, it wouldn't, nothing would cancel on the bottom. You could take out the x plus 9, but it's fine either way. You could either make the top that or the way it has, because nothing cancels with the bottom, so it doesn't really matter either way. Okay, so here on number 11, so same kind of game plan. Write it out here. So for add, fraction step 1, factor denoms. We don't have any, we don't need to, they're already factored. Step 2, multiply top and bottom by whatever's missing. So what is missing? So this guy compared to the other guy, he's missing an extra x plus 4, isn't he? And then this guy, what is he missing compared to that guy? He's missing an x minus 4. So you multiply, you make them the same by giving them what the other guy has that they're missing. See how both of them now have two x plus 4s and an x minus 4. They have the same denominators. And then step 3 says multiply tops and combine. So this 2 will distribute. 2x plus 8 over x plus 4 squared, x minus 4. And this 7 distributes. 7x minus 28 over x plus 4 squared, x minus 4. All right, we're adding those. So now we can combine the tops. So it's x plus 4 squared, x minus 4, 2x and 7x, 9x, 8 minus 28 is minus 20. And there we go. There's the answer. Nothing more can be done. Step 4 is try to factor the top, but that top, it doesn't factor. Nothing's in common there. Okay, so this one is number 12. Let's see, it's going to be a subtraction problem. That's always dangerous. Got to be careful. So let me rewrite the problem here. Okay, so what's the steps for add, subtract, fraction? Step 1, factor denominators. So I'm going to do that. So this can take out a 6, GCF. Oops, a little scribbly there. And the other one can't factor, x plus 3. Oops. Okay. So now, step 2, multiply top and bottom by whatever is missing. So we come in here and say, okay, what's missing? What is this guy missing? Nothing. What is this guy missing? The 6. So this guy doesn't need anything. That guy needs a 6. See how the two denominators are the same now? Okay, so step 3, multiply tops and combine. So that will become 7x over 6 times x plus 3 minus, and then this 6 will distribute, 6x minus 6 over x plus 3 times 6. Now, combine them into one fraction. This can be a little bit tricky. Remember this minus sign? Watch out, really easy to mess up. So this will become 7x minus 6x plus 6 over 6 times x plus 3. So that's x plus 6. I went up to there. Over 6 times x plus 3, right? Because 7x minus 6x is 1x. Can I cancel these 6's? No way, because this is a glued package, right? Pluses and minuses glue things together, like Costco making it a package deal, all or nothing. So we can't take just part. We cannot cancel just the 6. So we're done. This is the answer right here. We can't go any further. Number 13. So the steps for these add, subtract. Number 1, factor denoms. So there is some stuff that needs to go on in the denominators. See, this one's out of order, huh? So we've got to reorder minus x plus 3. Remember, when you move things around, the sign in front, that's their baby. Take that negative in front of that x with it wherever it may go. There's nothing in front of the 3, which means plus. That stays with it wherever it may go. The other one, this guy I can factor out of 3. Okay, now one more step of factoring, huh? Because we never leave a negative in front. Never leave negative in the front. Factor out minus 1. Remember, and all the signs will change. This will become minus 1 x minus 3. Because if you multiply that, it would go back to minus x and plus 3, wouldn't it? So let me bring it up here. So this becomes 6 over minus 1 x minus 3 plus x over 3 minus x. Now, we don't leave that minus in the bottom because we don't want negatives down there. We're trying to make the two denominators identical. So move that minus up. So it's gone. It moves up, hits the 6 up there, minus 6. So now Now we're ready for step 2. That's all step 1. Step 2, multiply top and bottom by whatever is missing. So that's where I've got to come to, let me get this kind of out of the way a little bit, this guy, and I've got to say, oh, he's missing the 3. Now these two denominators have the same stuff, so this is what? Minus 18 over 3, x minus 3, plus x over 3, x minus 3. And step 3 is multiply tops, which I just did. I just multiplied those two. And combine. So I'll combine them into one fraction. Minus 18 plus x over 3, x minus 3. There we go. There's the answer. If you want to swap the order on those two, you can. It doesn't really matter. It's the same thing either way. Both are good. Either answer is fine. There we go. Number 14. Let me write the steps again for adding and subtracting fractions. Step number 1. Factor the denoms. So this denominator needs to be factored. I'm going to do it up here. It's the diamond thing, right? What multiplies to be 18 adds to be 9. Times what? That would be 3 times 6, both positive. Multiply to be 18, add to be 9. So then we can factor that as 7 over x plus 3, x plus 6, minus 8 over x plus 6. So that's step 1, factor denoms. Step 2, multiply top and bottom by whatever's missing. Top and bottom. Okay. This guy is missing the x plus 3 that the other guy has. So this guy over here, he's not missing anything. I don't need to give him anything. So now the two denominators, see how they're the same? They both have an x plus 3 and an x plus 6. The order doesn't matter. So step 3 now. Multiply tops and, that says and, multiply tops and combine. So if I multiply the tops, that means these two. So 7 over x plus 3, x plus 6, minus, watch out for that minus sign, it's going to be an issue in a minute, 8x plus 24 over x plus 6, x plus 3. And now we have to combine them into one fraction, and when we do, x plus 3, they have the same denominator, so we can combine them into one. 7, and then this minus, remember, it has to go to both. Minus 8x minus 24. And so does that, one final combination there, 7 minus 24, what's that? That's minus 8x minus something, 17, yeah, over x plus 3, x plus 6. There we go. Nothing else can be done. Step 4 is try to factor the top, but that top's not going to factor. So we're done right there. All right, number 15, last one. Add, subtract, fraction, step 1. Factor the denoms, so I'm going to do that. To factor that denominator, I got to do the diamond. What multiplies to be 63 adds to be 2. Actually, multiplies to be minus 63, huh? Multiplies to be minus 63 adds to be plus 2. That'd be 7 and 9. Sign in the bottom goes on the bigger. So plus 9 minus 7. Multiplies to be negative 63, positive times negative, and adds to be plus 2. So then this one factors x plus 5 is on the top, and it's x minus 7, x plus 9 on the bottom, plus, and then the other denominator, this one, what multiplies to be 54 adds to be 3. So multiplies to be, minus 54, huh? Minus 54 adds to be plus 3. You can take your calculator and take 54 divided by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and just till you find a pair of numbers that can make the 3. Divided by 2, I get 27. Can 2 and 27 make the 3? No way. Divided by 3, it'd be 18. Can 3 and 18 make the 3 on the bottom? No way. Divided by 4, it does. It's a decimal. Divided by 5, it's a decimal. Divided by 6, it's 9. There it is. 6 and 9 can make the 3. Sign on the bottom, sign on the bigger. Plus 9 minus 6. Plus 9 minus 6 makes plus 3. They multiply to be negative 54. So there we go. That's the factorization on that one. It is x minus 6, x plus 9. Okay, so that's all step 1. Factor denom. Step 2, multiply top and bottom by whatever's missing. So I got to come to this guy. What's he missing? Let me scoot this x plus 5 over so there's room here. Yeah, so what's he missing, top and bottom? He's missing, it looks like, what does the other guy have that he doesn't? X minus 6. He's missing, we've got to make them the same. He's missing the x minus 6, okay? And now this guy, what is this guy missing comparing to the other one? That the other one has x minus 7. So you give them what they're missing, top and bottom. See how they now have the same 3 pieces? Doesn't matter the order. Their 2 denominators are now the same. So what do we do from here? Step 3 says to multiply the tops and combine. So I'm gonna, this is a FOIL, isn't it? I'm gonna multiply those tops. I'm gonna run out of room on this one. I'm gonna get a lot of a mess here. So I'll try. So this will come over here, and I'll get x squared plus 5x minus 6x minus 30 over x minus 6, x minus 7, x plus 9, whatever order, it doesn't matter, plus, and then the other one, this one, going to FOIL him, x squared minus 7x, boom, boom, plus 2x minus 14 over the same 3 things, x minus 6, x plus 9, x minus 7. Can you see that minus 14 there? So now combine those into one big fraction. It's a big mess, isn't it? So I'll do the denominator first. It's going to be x minus 6, x minus 7, x plus 9. Any order, doesn't matter at all. Okay, now what about the tops? Combine like terms, x squared and x squared? 2x squared Now, got to be careful here. 5x minus 6x is minus 1x. And these two, minus 7x plus 2x, is minus 5x. So minus 1x and minus 5x is minus 6x. Finally, minus 30 and minus 14, minus 44. So we could try to factor that top. I don't think that top's going to factor. I think we're done right here. This is our final answer. Here's over here on the side. I'll attempt real quick to factor that top, but I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. You would take out a 2, because that is step 3. Last step, try to factor the top. Minus 3x minus 22. That would be the top. And then you try to do a diamond with the 22. 3. What multiplies by 22? 2 and 11. They don't make 3. No way. So it doesn't factor any further. So you could take that 2 out of the top, but who cares? It doesn't cancel with anything in the bottom. So this is a fine answer. And there we go. There is section 7.4.